In the dimly lit corner of a bustling office, Mr. Raza sat in his leather chair, poring over documents. At 58, he was the epitome of wisdom and authority. He had spent decades building his company from scratch, and while his business thrived, his personal life remained starkly empty. Widowed early, he had buried his heartache in work, never imagining that love could find its way back into his life. Then came Aisha, a young intern of 24. Bright-eyed and brimming with enthusiasm, she was a breath of fresh air in the otherwise monotonous office. Aisha wasn't just diligent, she had a knack for solving problems creatively, which caught Mr. Raza's attention. Her infectious laughter echoed through the office, reminding him of a joy he hadn't felt in years. Over the weeks, Mr. Raza began to notice Aisha more closely. It wasn't just her intelligence or her dedication, it was her kindness, her ability to light up a room, and the way she treated everyone with equal respect. She'd often stay back late to assist her colleagues or take on tasks beyond her responsibilities, all with an unshakable smile. One evening, as the rest of the office emptied, Mr. Raza found Aisha still at her desk. "Why are you still here?" he asked, his voice gentle but firm. She looked up startled, then smiled. "I was finishing the presentation for tomorrow. I wanted it to be perfect." Touched by her dedication, he offered, "Let me see it." They spent the next hour refining the presentation together. For the first time in years, Mr. Raza felt a spark of something he couldn't quite define. As they worked, their conversation drifted to personal topics. Aisha spoke of her dreams, her struggles, and her late father, who had inspired her to pursue a career. "He sounds like a remarkable man," Mr. Raza said softly. "He was," Aisha replied, her voice tinged with sadness. "You remind me of him, actually. Kind, wise, and always willing to help." Mr. Raza's heart stirred. It had been years since anyone had seen him as more than just a boss. Days turned into weeks, and their bond deepened. They began sharing lunch breaks, discussing books, and debating over ideas. Colleagues noticed their growing closeness, but neither seemed to care. For Aisha, Mr. Raza's wisdom and humility made him stand out from anyone she'd ever met. For Mr. Raza, Aisha's youthful optimism and sincerity rekindled a part of him he thought was lost forever. One rainy evening, as they stood by the office window watching the downpour, Aisha remarked, "You know, there's something magical about rain. It washes away everything and gives you a fresh start." "A fresh start," Mr. Raza mused, looking at her with newfound clarity. Gathering his courage, he said, "Aisha, I never thought I'd feel this way again, but you've brought light into my life. I'm aware of the differences between us, but Aisha interrupted him with a warm smile. "Mr. Raza, age is just a number. What matters is the connection we share. You've taught me so much, and I can't imagine my days without you." Their confession marked the beginning of a love story that defied societal norms. While challenges lay ahead, they faced them together, proving that love has no boundaries. In each other they found what they had been missing: a partner, a confidant, and a reason to believe in second chances. Over time, their bond grew even stronger. Mr. Raza began to open up about his past, sharing stories of his younger days and the hardships he'd endured to build his company. Aisha listened intently, often marveling at his resilience and determination. She would often say, "You're not just my mentor, you're my inspiration." Their relationship wasn't without its challenges. Rumors started to circulate in the office, and some employees questioned the propriety of their closeness. But both Aisha and Mr. Raza handled it with grace. Aisha's work ethic and professionalism silenced most critics, and Mr. Raza's unwavering support for her proved his intentions were genuine. Outside of work, they began spending more time together. Mr. Raza introduced Aisha to his small circle of friends, who were initially surprised but quickly warmed to her. She brought a youthful energy to their gatherings, and they often joked that she had managed to make Mr. Raza smile more in a few months than they had seen in years. One weekend, Mr. Raza invited Aisha to his home for dinner. Nervous but excited, she arrived with a bouquet of flowers. His home was elegant but understated, reflecting his personality. Over dinner they shared more stories, laughed, and even debated over their favorite movies. By the end of the evening, Aisha felt a deep sense of belonging she hadn't experienced in a long time. Months turned into a year, and their love only deepened. Mr. Raza, who had once believed his life was nearing its twilight, found himself dreaming of new beginnings. He started taking better care of his health, inspired by Aisha's encouragement. Aisha, in turn, grew more confident, knowing she had someone who believed in her unconditionally. One evening, during a quiet walk in a nearby park, Mr. Raza stopped and took Aisha's hand. "Aisha, I know our journey hasn't been conventional, but I can't imagine my life without you. Will you give me the honor of spending the rest of your life with me?" Tears filled Aisha's eyes as she nodded. "Yes, Mr. Raza. 1,000 times yes." Their love story became a testament to the fact that love knows no age, no boundaries, and no limitations. Together they proved that sometimes, the most unexpected connections can lead to the most beautiful journeys.